Hello everyone, I hope that you had a great spring break. We're going to pick back up with class notes on 10-1. This will be our third day on 10-1 where we were classifying on the first and second day. Second day we started adding and subtracting. We're going to continue to add and subtract. I could see on some of your homework assignments that you really need to watch this video maybe a few times through to truly understand how to add and subtract. It's just combining like terms. So once you get the hang of that, which you should already have the hang of, and understanding subtraction piece of this, we should hopefully be feeling better and ready to move on to 10-2 tomorrow. So we are being asked to subtract these two polynomials. With subtraction, you have to remember to subtract all of the terms from the second polynomial. So we bring down the first part just the way it is. So negative 2x cubed minus 3x squared minus 5x minus 7 just comes down. We have to make sure we subtract. So what I said is you can think about distributing that you're going to need to change signs of all of these. You have to subtract the x cubed. You have to subtract the negative 5x squared. Two negatives become a positive. So a negative times a negative, positive. So you can think about it as using some multiplication here as well. A negative times a positive, negative 8x. A negative times a negative, a positive 3. Now let's just look for same exponents. They all have x's, so let's look for same exponents. Seeing these both have a 3, these are the ones we need to put together first. We keep the x cubed part. We don't change that. X cubed stays. We work with the numbers in front. I see a negative 2 and a negative 1, same signs, add and keep. Then after 3 comes 2. So I look for my exponents of 2, see 1 there, and I see 1 there. Now I look at the numbers in front because the x squared is going to stay. A negative 3 plus 5, different signs, subtract, keep the sign of the bigger 2, and then keep the x squared. After 2, I'm looking for 1, or what we would call linear, a week ago because you had spring break off. And you're going to see that those ones are what we'd call like terms because they all have an x. Look at the number in front, negative 5, negative 8, same, add and keep to get a negative 13, and then you keep the x. Negative 7, constant, positive 3, those are called the constants, that is a plus. And so different signs, subtract, keep the sign of the bigger, negative 4. Now we can't put any of these together because these are not like. Like terms have same letter, same exponent. Final answer, we've just subtracted the two polynomials. Okay, let's practice another subtraction. We subtract all of these terms. All of these come down just the way they are. X squared plus 6x minus 2. Subtracting a negative 3x squared is going to become a 3x squared. Subtracting 6x is going to become a negative 6x. Subtracting a negative 4 is going to become a positive 4. Like terms, biggest exponent 2. 1x and 3x squared, 1x squared, 3x squared, 4x squared. Linear terms, 6 minus 6, nothing. You can leave it off, or you could show a plus 0x. I'm just going to leave it off. Negative 2, positive 4 is a plus 2. These are not like, same letter, same exponent, not the case here. Final answer. In between these two polynomials, I see addition. So we just bring everything down without the parentheses. We need to add the negative 3x squared. We need to add the 2x, and we need to add the negative 4. Biggest exponent I see is the 2's. 4 minus 3, 1x squared. Linear terms, 3x, 2x, 5x. Same signs, add and keep. Negative 4 and negative 5, negative 5, negative 4. Same signs, add and keep. Negative 9. Final answer because these are not like. And that is the end of that piece. I'd like to just remind you about the classifying. Even though we weren't asked to do that, we were just asked to add and subtract. We should still know that this is by degree, practicing what we learned on classifying. By degree, if the biggest exponent's a 2, we call that quadratic. and I can see that there are 3 terms. 1, 2, 3. So terms, we say 3, we have to look at the vocabulary word, and the vocabulary word says trinomial. Leading coefficient, all of these are in standard form, so the first number I see is a 1. And I can go back and do that with all of these. Biggest exponent, 2, that tells us the degree. That tells us the degree. 2, the word for that is quadratic. How many terms? This is a term, this is a term. I see 2 terms, then I gotta look at those words that we wrote down a week ago, and it says that that's called a binomial. Leading coefficient, what's the first number that we see? A 4. I can go back to this one. Biggest exponent we see tells us the degree. When we see a 3, we know the word that goes with 3 is cubic, if you look at the list in your notes. We look at the terms, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. We have monomial for 1, binomial for 2, trinomial 3. We just write that there are 4 terms here. And then the leading coefficient, what's the first number that we see? -3. This is not a requirement for the homework piece, but it's probably good to do and review if you are struggling with classifying. Have a great day, everyone.